All right, this is a videotape deposition of Dr. Michael Bishop being taken today on behalf of the plaintiff. My name is Gordon Kroll of Kelly Reporting and Videography Incorporated, 415 4th Street Northeast, Charlottesville, Virginia, 22902. The court reporter today is Julia Bamel, also representing Cavalier Reporting, and would counsel please identify themselves now for the record.
Evan Bayo, Tremblay & Smith on behalf of the plaintiff, Ryan Sawyers.
Gene Rossi, Carlton Fields on behalf of the plaintiff.
Alex Frankozenko on behalf of defendant Dr. Bishop.
Bill Porter and Ian McElhaney on behalf of the Prince William County School Board.
All right, thank you. Today's date is April 14th. The year is 2023. The time is approximately 10:11 a.m. Would the reporter please swear in the witness?
All right, so you raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Bishop.
Good morning.
Do you recall that I deposed you some months ago in relation to the Sawyers v. P-Track matter?
Yep.
Since I had that deposition with you, have you had your deposition taken in any other case?
Nope.
You may remember some of these instructions. Will you please make sure that you wait until I finish asking my question before you answer?
Yep.
If you don't understand one of my questions or you need me to rephrase it, will you please let me know?
Yep.
Do you understand that you're under oath today?
Yep.
And that even though we're in this conference room, that your testimony has the same force and effect as if we were in a courtroom in front of a judge and a jury?
Yep.
Are you taking any medication or suffering from any illness that would affect your ability to truthfully answer my questions today?
Just my normal vitamins and supplements and stuff like that.
I'll be a little more specific. Do any of the vitamins or supplements that you typically take have as a side effect, any side effect that would affect your ability to answer?
No, sir.
Have you been convicted of or pled guilty to a felony or misdemeanor in the time since our last deposition?
Nope.
Are you represented by an attorney with respect to this case?
He is. He's represented by me in this case.
Besides Mr. Frankozenko, are you represented by any other attorney with respect to this case?
Other than the ones that have entered their appearance in the record, no.
Are you represented by any attorney at the Division Counsel's Office of the Prince William County School Board with respect to this case?
No.
Have you ever been represented by any attorney at the Division Counsel's Office of the Prince William County School Board with respect to this case?
I'm going to object to that question as it requires a legal conclusion in terms of representation. Can you define what you mean by representation?
Have you ever held the belief that any attorney at the Division Counsel's Office for the Prince William County School Board represented you with respect to this case?
No.
Have you ever signed any agreement between you and any attorney in the Division of Counsel's Office of the Prince William County School Board for them to represent you with respect to this case?
No.
So excluding any meetings that you've had with Mr. Frankozenko or other attorneys at his firm, what have you done to prepare for today's deposition?
Reviewed the last one.
The last one meaning?
The one you did with me in November. And reviewed the complaint.
So you reviewed the transcript of the deposition that I had taken of you in November?
Yes.
What was the purpose of reviewing that deposition transcript?
To make sure I knew what had gone on. It's been 5 months.
How would the deposition transcript from November tell you what had happened between November and April 2023?
You had asked me a couple of questions about some things in there. I wanted to just review what I had said.
Were there any particular answers that you wanted to review?
No.
Did you find any particular answers that surprised you?
No.
Did you review the entire transcript?
Most of it.
Which parts did you review?
I don't remember.
Do you remember any particular thing that you learned as a result of reviewing that transcript?
No.
Were you successful in refreshing your recollection of what your answers had been during the deposition?
Can you define successful?
But at some point, you stopped reviewing the transcript and went on to do something else, right?
Objection, that's not what he testified to.
Well, he's not doing it right now.
What?
He's not reviewing the transcript right now, so he must have stopped at some point and done something else. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't remember when I stopped. I looked at it. That's it.
So how long did you review the transcript?
I have no idea.
You couldn't nail it down even to an hour?
I have no idea.
When did you do it?
Yesterday,
In the afternoon or the morning?
the afternoon,
What time?
I have no idea.
Was it while you were at school?
Yes.
Did you do it in your office?
Yes.
Did you do it after lunch?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
What time did you eat lunch?
I have no idea.
When did you leave the office?
I have no idea.
You cannot recall what time you left the office yesterday?
No, I can't.
Even within an hour? Was it
No.
dark? Was it dark outside? Dr. Bishop, are you thinking of the answer to my question?
Take your time and do the best you can. That's all you're required to do. Question pending is, was it dark when you left? It's a yes or no question.
You're good?
What's the answer to the question?
What?
Mm-hmm.
Was it dark outside when you left work yesterday?
I don't know what you got. What do you got you're picking up?
Well, hold on. We're not going to do that. He is asking you a question. Was it dark when you left yesterday? It's a yes or no question. I get that it's got absolutely nothing to do with this case, but you just go ahead and please answer the question. If you need a break and you need a second, we can do that. But we're not going to go down this path.
Okay, what are you going to say again?
He's asking you a question.
Will you read that back, please, Julia?
Question, was it dark outside when you left work yesterday?
All right, I still don't understand what that question is. What are we saying?
What part of the question is unclear to you, Dr. Bishop?
I still don't understand what you're trying to ask about. What is it? What is it you're saying?
Will you read the question back, please?
Question, was it dark outside when you left work yesterday?
I don't know what to say about that. I really don't.
Does the question, are you confused as to some aspect of the question?
I'm not really following through what you're trying to do here, or what you're trying to
It's
get.
not your job to do that. Just please, I'm gonna instruct you, Dr. Bishop. If we need to take a break, you and I can go chat. But he's asking some questions. I understand that you don't think they're relevant, but you need to answer those questions. He's just trying to see how much time he spent preparing yesterday. That's all.
Okay.
So take a breath and let's answer the questions. All right.
Okay.
The question again is, was it dark when you left school yesterday? And that's a yes or no. It was dark or it wasn't?
And what are we asking about?
Would you like to take a break?
You're not, yeah, let's take a break.
All right, the time starts at 10:20 a.m. We're off the record. You get up, don't speak your mics.
Yeah.
All right, the time is approximately 10:22, and we're back on the record.
So, Dr. Bishop, I think the question that was pending is, was it dark outside when you left work yesterday?
Dark outside?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it was dark outside.
Are you absolutely certain of that?
Yeah, I asked and answered. Come on. Now you're just poking.
No.
He just said it was dark outside, and now you got to ask him if he's sure about that. Come on, Evan.
Are you making...
Yeah, I'm making an objection because he answered your question.
Okay, so for today, in advance of the deposition today, given the number of speaking objections that were made throughout the week, I reviewed Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 30.
I did too.
Are you familiar with it?
Answer your next question, please.
Okay, so if today you interrupt my deposition with anything that's not an objection or related to a area that the court has already ruled that I cannot ask questions about, or a motion to terminate the deposition, I'm going to ask to speak to Judge Davis. And
I've got his number.
sort it out.
I'm ready to call him. So let's move on.
I'm just going to object to the narrative about how the week's deposition was gone.
Right.
Unfair and inaccurate characterization.
Okay. Fortunately, I guess we have the transcript of those events, and we can both rely on that as to what happened.
Right. And when there were speaking objections, we asked the witness to leave the room. So let's move on, Evan. We're going to have a long day.
Dr. Bishop, does the recollection that it was whether it was dark outside when you left work yesterday jog your memory about how long you spent reviewing the deposition transcript?
I don't remember how long yesterday because we had a baseball game in the evening, so I had come back 5:30 and I was there till 8:30 or 9 o'clock last night.
Okay. And were you reviewing the deposition transcript during the 5:30 to 8:30, 9 o'clock period?
I had looked at it prior to the baseball game. I looked at it an hour or so.
Was that during that 5:30 to 8:30, 9 o'clock period?
I don't think it was during the 5:30 to 8:30 or 9. I think I looked at a little bit of it before, and I looked at it again last night before I went to sleep.
Is there any part of the answers that you gave in that deposition that you realize now are inaccurate?
Say that again?
Are there any answers that you gave in the deposition transcript that you realize are inaccurate?
Not necessarily, no.
So your review of the deposition transcript did not produce any answers that you were concerned were not fully truthful?
I don't think so.
Have you spoken to anyone besides Mr. Frank Uzenko or an attorney at his firm about your deposition today?
Who did you say? Frank Uzenko?
Me.
Ask me a question again. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Have you spoken to anyone besides Mr. Frank Uzenko or another attorney at his firm about the fact of your deposition today?
Not that I can remember.
Have you spoken to anyone who's been deposed in the litigation this week?
My secretary, Michelle, was deposed earlier in the week, but we just talked about when she had to go up there and when she came back. We didn't talk about anything that was said.
Is that Mrs. Michelle Fair Kincaid?
Mm-hmm.
Did you speak with anyone besides Mrs. Kincaid about being anyone who's been deposed this week in this litigation?
She's the only one that I could remember or knew of. So I just talked to her briefly.
Have you spoken to Division Superintendent LaTanya McDade this week?
No.
You've spoken to Prince William County School Board Chairman Barbara Lateef this week?
No.
You've spoken to Prince William County School Board Member Justin Wilk this week?
No.
You've spoken to FOIA Compliance Officer Soledad Araya this week?
No.
Have you spoken to Communications Director Prince William County Schools Diana Gulata this week?
No.
Have you spoken to Prince William County Schools Board Member Lisa Zargerper this week?
No.
Have you spoken to Prince William County School Board Member Adele Jackson this week?
No.
Are you an employee of Prince William County Schools?
Yes.
What's the name of your position there?
The principal, high school principal.
Are you the principal of Prince William County?
Ask that
School,
question
excuse
again.
me, are you the principal of Patriot High School?
Principal of Patriot High School.
And when were you hired for that role?
July 1st, 2010.
What was the employment position that you held immediately prior to taking the position at Patriot High School?
You mean the school that I worked at before? Is that what you're asking me about?
Whatever job you had immediately prior to taking this
I
position.
worked at Lee Davis High School as a principal 2009, 2008, 2009.
And have you been employed continuously as the principal of Patriot High School since you took the position on July 1, 2010?
Yes.
Have you ever been fired from that position?
No.
Have you ever testified under oath that you had been fired from that position?
I hadn't said I've been fired. There had been some question about what was going on, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
But is it clear to you as of today that those questions are resolved and you were not terminated?
I believe so.
Did you file a lawsuit against Ryan Sawyers alleging that you had been terminated from your position as Patriot High School principal?
I'm going to object. It's beyond the scope of this case. I'm going to give you some latitude, but again, at some point, like you said, we may have to call the judge on some of these issues. Go ahead, you can answer the question.
Can you ask the question again?
Did you sue Ryan Sawyers based on the allegation that you had been fired from your position as principal of Patriot High School?
I don't remember whether it was the allegation of being fired, but Mr. Sawyers, Mr. Wilk, and Mr. Morgan were all a part of that original complaint.
Did you claim as part of that suit that you had been fired as the principal of
I
Patriot
don't
High School?
remember what it said. It's been a while.
Has anyone at Patriot High School or Prince William County Schools ever communicated to you that you were fired?
From Patriot High School? Is that what you said? I don't remember anybody saying I was fired.
And was Mr. Sawyers a member of the school board during the pendency of the litigation that you filed against him?
I think at the time he might have been. I don't remember.
Was there an allegation in that complaint that Mr. Sawyers had caused the vote to hold your contract?
That was the allegation. I don't remember exactly how it was, but
Does that refresh your recollection that Mr. Sawyers was a member of the school board at that time?
I believe so, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
Is it your belief as of today that Mr. Sawyers conspired to terminate you from your position as principal of Patriot High School?
I'm going to object to form. I'm going to also object that we're going well beyond the scope of reasonable discovery in this case. Go ahead and leave the room for a second, please.
On the record?
Yes, we're going to stay on the record. Close that door, please, Dr. Bishop. Can you offer again what allegations of other lawsuits? In fact, Judge Davis made it clear that none of that stuff was relevant when we asked the discovery request about all lawsuits that Sawyer's involved in, and he made it clear that none of that stuff was relevant. I'm not sure. Are we going to sit here for the next hour talking about another lawsuit? Because if we are, let's call Judge Davis now. If you're telling me you just want to get a little bit of preliminary information, okay, but this is not an appropriate scope of discovery for this particular case.
So is the objection that you're making an objection to the form of the question?
I'm objecting that you're going beyond what the court has already deemed as reasonable discovery, and this is harassing in nature.
Okay, so
I'll add to that, you represented to us as lawyers. You said, I promise you as a member of the Virginia Bar that I'm not going to get into that stuff, and you made that same representation to the court when we were at the hearing.
So what are you talking about? You said you made this representation at the court. When are you alleging that the other representation was made?
You made it during our meet and confer when we were on the phone call and we were talking about the scope of discovery.
And is that what you contend were the exact words that I used?
Okay. I mean, okay.
That's what I remember.
If we need a court reporter for meet and confers now, we will certainly do that.
So
I remember words to the effect of you said, I will tell you as a Virginia lawyer and officer of the court that I'm not getting into this stuff. That's my best recollection.
So my best recollection of that was that you guys had expressed the concern that I would use this litigation as a means to get discovery that would be used in other pieces of litigation, like the Waltz defamation case.
That's true.
So I don't think that's what's happening here.
What is happening here? Please explain it to me, because that case was resolved. Mr. Sawyer's friend Guy Morgan paid a settlement on that. What do we talk? Why is that an issue in this case?
So I want to correct the record that Guy Morgan did not pay a settlement on that case. But why are we talking about it? So you and I had a discussion 2 days ago, I think, that were about the interrogatory answers that you had provided pursuant to the court's order.
Right.
And one of the interrogatory answers had answered the question that the court posed, which was, why did you block Mr. Sawyers?
Okay.
Do you remember that? And the answer that you had provided So the answer, the question was, as the court had restated it, why did you block Sawyers from the Twitter account? Interrogatory B. The response was, due to past behavior of plaintiff and plaintiff's known friends or acquaintances, Bishop did not want to interact with plaintiff or any of plaintiff's friends/acquaintances on his personal social media account. As was his right, he blocked plaintiff to avoid or at least limit unnecessary social interaction.
Okay.
So on April 11th, I wrote to you and an attorney at your firm, Taya Paolini, and I said, I received the attached supplemental answers from Dr. Bishop last week. I have several concerns relating to these answers. And then with respect to interrogatory B, Dr. Bishop answered that he blocked Ryan Sawyers, quote, due to past behavior of plaintiff and plaintiff's known friends or acquaintances, end quote. Dr. Bishop needs to specify the past behavior so plaintiff can prepare for Dr. Bishop's deposition and for trying the case. This answer is non-responsive and verges on evasive. For example, the answer provided could as easily have applied to the posting of pornographic images as to good faith criticism of the local school district. Please provide a revised answer that provides the specific instances of behavior which Dr. Bishop sought to limit. So let me finish what I'm going to say. So my recollection at the conclusion of the, what was it, meet and confer, I suppose, about this, was that you had taken the position that you were refusing to supplement the interrogatory response, but that I could ask Dr. Bishop what he meant by it.
And you haven't done that.
Right, so that's true. And you said further that his answer was going to be the stuff in my complaint that you had sought to, the bulleted points in the complaint about the history of the parties.
First of all, that part I don't agree with. I don't know what his answer is going to be, number one. Number two, you just asked him questions about allegations in his complaint against Morgan. That has absolutely nothing.
It was a complaint against Sawyers.
Well, against Sawyers too. That has nothing to do with this particular case. If you want to go back and ask him the question in the interrogatory, I understand. But you're going way out of bounds on this.
So on the whether
and you're focusing, hyper-focusing on whether his allegation about whether he was terminated or not was truthful or not.
So that goes to bias, because he did testify that he was terminated.
All right, so then use that in your cross-examination when we go to trial. You already have that on the record.
Well, we have that instance of it, and if he still maintains that's true, I'd want to know that. Because what if he says that has something to do with ownership of the Twitter account? I think it was a fair question. And then, so if we go that far, what about this? Suppose I ask him, why did you block him? And then we go from there.
That's fine.
All right.
Then we get to the point. I mean, that was the whole point that Judge Davis made at our last
okay, so I do want
to.
I do want to address that before we go any farther. You guys lost the motion for the protective order on the individual.
I didn't have a
components.
motion for protective order.
Yeah.
I didn't do it that way.
You don't think the motion was denied as to the protective order for the individual deponents?
I'd have to look at the
I didn't have a motion
order, but
for
I thought
protective
that
order.
we reached resolution with Judge Davis at least. But this is wasting time, man. It doesn't matter.
Well, no. We should find out whether you guys won or lost
But
the motion
my
for the
motion doesn't
protective
relate
order.
to Dr. Bishop's testimony today.
So
why are we wasting time with that?
Because you sought to limit the scope of discovery in the individual depositions.
As to my people.
That's his.
Right.
not my person.
And he didn't file one.
Right. So why does my motion for protective order matter?
So then why is he citing Judge Davis's decision on the discovery piece of that protective order as limiting what I'm allowed to do today?
Judge Davis addressed your discovery request to my client.
So why is that binding on what I can ask about in this deposition?
Nothing is binding, but he gave us an indication of what he thought was appropriate discovery and not. It's not binding until we call him back and he says that you can or cannot answer certain questions.
So during a break, I would like for you to produce the piece of the transcript that you claim is dispositive of whether I can ask these questions.
I didn't say it was. I said it was guidance from Judge Davis indicating that the type of discovery you requested, at least written discovery, was entirely inappropriate, and he essentially rewrote it for you at the last hearing and let certain questions be asked.
So a court speaks through its written orders.
Look, we're not citing Virginia law.
No,
right?
you guys are wasting my time because you're using
law.
speaking objections to stop me from asking the question. So either make an objection to the form of the question, terminate the deposition, make a motion to terminate the deposition, or direct the client not to answer because it's a privileged answer. Those are the only three things you're allowed to do under Rule 30.
Are you ready for the witness?
I've been ready.
I don't think you have it. Let's go.
Julia, would you mind reading back the last question for my recollection?
And while she's going back, we're still on the record. And just a reminder, be careful when you guys are reading from anything, because we all read faster than we talk, and it's hard for the reporter.
Thank you for the reminder.
Question: is it your belief as of today that Mr. Sawyers conspired to terminate you from your position as principal of Patriot High School?
Okay, so I will set that question aside without waiving the right to ask it later and ask you a different question, which is, why did you block, well, let me ask you this, did you block Ryan Sawyers on the Twitter account at Pioneers BHS?
Yes.
And you know that Ryan Sawyers, the at Ryan Sawyers or at Ryan Sawyers VA is the Twitter handle for Ryan Sawyers?
What is the handle? I didn't hear you.
Do you know what it is?
I'm not sure I do. I'm sure at some point a long time ago I did.
Do you have a specific recollection of blocking a Twitter handle on that appeared to be the Twitter handle of Ryan Sawyers?
It was a long time ago, yes.
When did you do it?
I want to say 2015 or 16. I honestly don't know. It's been a while.
Well, I don't want you to guess. I'm instructing you not to guess, so you can give your best answer, but don't guess.
I think 2015 or 16, I don't know for sure.
Why did you block him?
I don't care for some of the things he says or does. It's a personal opinion.
Well, you said, I think, I don't care. My question was, why did you block him back when you did, whenever that was?
Because there had been conflicts with baseball and some other stuff, and I didn't feel like being a part of those conversations. I did not feel like engaging in that.
Did you block Mr. Sawyers for any reason relating to the litigation that you filed against him?
I could have, I don't remember.
What year was the litigation filed?
I'd have to look. It's either 2016 or 17. I don't remember.
So it sounds like it was after he was blocked.
Right. So I'll find that out. Regardless of when the litigation was filed, did you block Ryan Sawyers because of any event that was included in the complaint in your case against Ryan Sawyers?
I don't know. I didn't care for statements, comments. I didn't care for those types of things. I did not want to engage in those conversations.
So when you say you didn't care for statements, comments, do you mean statements or comments of Ryan Sawyers?
Mm-hmm.
Where had you seen statements or comments from Ryan Sawyers that you did not like?
On social media, different places. He was running for chair of the school board at some point. I just didn't care for it. I don't like it. Don't like him.
So I want to be, I don't mean to be pedantic, but I want to be precise. And in response to my questions about what happened when you blocked him, which I understand to be 2015, 2016, to the best of your recollection, you keep using present tense verbs. And I want to be sure my question is clear, that I'm asking you about how you felt and what you did at the time that you blocked Ryan Sawyers. Is that clear?
I guess so. I'm not sure exactly what you're saying, the difference between present tense and past.
So a moment ago you said, I don't like him.
I didn't like him. I still don't like him.
Okay.
I didn't want to engage in any conversation. I didn't want to be a part of that.
So when you say engage in conversations, did you mean engage in conversations on Twitter or other forms of social media?
Any type of social media. I did not want to be engaged in it.
Has Ryan Sawyers ever commented on the @Pioneers PHS Twitter account?
He may have at some point. I don't recall. But since I blocked him, I have not recalled or seen any.
If he, did you delete any comments that Ryan made against @Pioneers PHS?
I have no idea. I don't remember.
Have you ever deleted any comment that any person has made on a tweet of @Pioneers PHS?
I may.
Are you saying ever?
Yes, ever.
I may have.
Do you have a recollection one way or the other?
I don't have a recollection of when or how. I'm sure I have.
Do you hold the belief as of today that it's lawful for you to delete comments on tweets made by the @Pioneers PHS Twitter account?
Object to the floor.
Same objection. Go ahead.
It's a personal account, so I can delete things that are there.
And have you always held the belief that the account is personal and you are free to delete any comments that appear on it?
Yes.
So is it accurate then that you've never believed there were any rules or laws that would have prevented you from deleting any comment that you wanted on the @Pioneers PHS Twitter account?
I have not.
Could you clarify what you mean there when you say I have not?
Ask me your question again.
Is it the case that you've always held the belief that there were never any laws or rules that would have prevented you from deleting any Twitter comment on the @Pioneers PHS Twitter account?
Yeah, that would be correct. I've never believed I had to worry about deleting things because it was mine.
Do you have any other social media accounts besides the @PioneersPHS account?
Yes.
What are they?
I have a second Twitter account. I don't remember what it's called. I have an Instagram account.
When's the last time that you used a Twitter account that's not the @PioneersPHS account?
Oh, in the last couple of months. I don't know exactly when.
What do you use the account for?
Following my son's baseball team, some interactions with my family, some sports teams that I follow.
Anything besides those 3 topics?
There could be, I don't remember.
Do you know how many tweets you've made on the other account?
No idea.
Fewer than 3,000?
Yes,
Say you tweet infrequently on that account?
infrequently is a good way to put it.
Do you tweet about Patriot High School on that account?
No,
Do you tweet about Prince William County schools on that account?
no,
Do you post pictures of Patriot High School students on that account?
no,
Have you ever?
no,
Do you tweet about Patriot High School athletics on that account?
no.
Do you post pictures of yourself on that account?
I do not believe I've ever posted a picture of myself, but I could have. Not positive.
So is it, do you use the 2 Twitter accounts for different things?
Yeah.
So what do you use the @PioneersPHS account for?
I've interacted with students, with teams. I've interacted with kids, the superintendent, just conversations, posting pictures, celebrating things.
And was your answer there referring to the use of the @PioneersPHS account?
Yes.
And do you do any of the things you just described with your other Twitter account?
I don't believe so.
Is there a reason that you've kept those activities that you just described segregated onto the @PioneersPHS account?
I just felt like I needed to make sure it was my professional role and then my personal stuff.
So was the @PioneersPHS Twitter account for your use as a professional principal in Virginia?
I guess that's what you'd call it. It's me having conversations and sharing information with other folks.
Did you believe that you were completing the duties of your job as the principal of Patriot High School when you used the account?
No, not necessarily.
Did you spend any time using the account when you were at work as a principal of Patriot High School?
I'm sure every once in a while I did.
Were you being paid for the time that you spent at the school working in that role as Patriot High School president?
President?
Principal, thank you. Maybe one day.
Can I clarify your question?
Yes.
Am I getting paid as the principal using it?
When you're at school and at the high school and during the school day, is it Monday through Friday?
Mm-hmm.
And what are the hours?
7 to 5, 7 to 6, 7 to 9. It depends on what's going on.
So you don't have set hours that you
I'm a
observe?
salaried employee.
When you're at the school and using your using the @PioneersPHS Twitter account, were you being paid for that time?
I don't know. I don't know how to qualify that answer.
Was it your belief that you were permitted to use the @PioneersPHS Twitter account while you were at work during the school day?
At times, yeah, just like all of our other teachers have.
When you say at times, do you mean that you held that belief at times, or that you were permitted to use the account during the school day at work at times?
I don't know how to answer that. I can just tell you that I did it some days I didn't. My choir teacher does it, my band teacher does it. It's not official, yes, you do it, or no, you don't. It's just one of those conversations.
So when you say my choir teacher does it, do you mean posts on Twitter during the school day while she is at school?
I don't remember if it's during the school day, again.
Your position or your belief is that they're both permitted to do what they do, whether they post it during the school day or not.
Yes, that's my belief.
And is it your understanding that they're permitted to do that under the regulations of Prince William County Schools?
I don't know that there is an exact specific regulation, so I don't know whether I can answer that appropriately.
Is there a regulation that governs how employees can use social media accounts that are their personal accounts?
I don't know if it regulates personal accounts. The new one goes into effect in July.
Okay, so does the old one, the old version that was in effect as of June 2022, does it include any regulation about how Prince William County School employees may use their personal social media accounts?
I do not remember because I don't know what the old regulation looks like. It's not available anymore. I have not been able to see it. And I don't even know if there was one.
Have you made a request of anyone to see a regulation that went unfulfilled?
No.
Do you know where you can access the regulations of Prince William County Schools?
They're online. I don't know where the old ones are available, but then there's a page you go to. It's called Board Docs. It's on the main page. You click what type of, and you go from there.
How long has the Board Docs site been available?
It was changed a couple of years ago. It used to be a different format, and they were posted as PDF. Now, I want to say it's been there 3 or 4 years. I don't know for sure, but it's a link on the school webpage.
So is it, do you recall what your Twitter handle is for that other account that's not at Pioneers PHS?
I don't remember it off the top of my head. I'd have to look.
Do you remember any word in the Twitter account or in the Twitter account handle that we're talking about?
I think it's mine. I think it's my initials. I think it's Emmy Bishop 42.
Is it a private account?
Yes.
When did you decide to make your Twitter account at Emmy Bishop 42 private?
Whenever I opened it.
When was it opened?
I don't know, a couple years ago. I don't really remember.
Why did you decide to open that account and make it private?
Because I wanted to just have the opportunity to interact with other things. Music, family members, stuff like that. My sisters.
Things that weren't related to Prince William County Schools?
Things that necessarily weren't related to me in that role.
Was the use of the at Pioneers PHS Twitter account in your mind related to you in the role as a Prince William County Schools principal?
I don't know if that's the way to describe it, because when we opened the accounts and set everything up, at Patriot High School was the official, at Patriot Pioneers was the official athletic, at PHS Pioneers was my personal, and I remember that conversation.
So when you say at PHS Pioneers was my personal, did you actually mean at Pioneers PHS?
Whatever it is, yeah. I don't remember how the wording is.
So who participated in the conversation about those 3 internet properties and which ones were owned by whom?
My assistant, Michelle Kincaid. My ITC at the time, Dan Nemero. I think my activities director, Brad Qualls, but I'm not 100% on that one.
Are any of those folks still working today for Prince William County Schools?
Dan Nemero works at Gainesville High School. Everybody else still works with me.
Who made the decision about which accounts on Twitter would be the official account versus the unofficial account?
It was a joint decision.
Between who?
The 4 of us that I was just talking about. Michelle, Dan, Brad, and myself. We had a conversation about it.
So was it your perception that Michelle Kincaid had decision-making authority?
No, she was just sitting in the room at the time. So the 4 of us talked about it.
So of the 4 people who were sitting in the room when you were talking about it, were you technically the boss of the other 3?
Yeah, I was having a conversation with them. I was asking for advice. We were just making a decision. It was new format, and we were trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and that's where the conversation took place.
At the time that you had that conversation and made a decision about which ones would be official and which ones were not, did you believe that you had the authority to determine which social media accounts were official accounts of Prince William County Schools?
Check the form.
I don't know that we had the authority.
Sorry, my question was a little different. I was asking, did you think that you had the authority as the principal of Patriot High School?
Check the form.
No, I don't think I had the ability to create official or not official. I don't really know. But we made sure that the other two were the ones that officially shared information with the community.
So a moment ago when you said that you decided as four that the other two accounts would be official, is that accurate?
Yes.
Did you believe at the time you made that decision that you didn't have authority to make that decision?
I don't know. I understand your question. Say it again.
So was there a conversation between you, Mrs. Kincaid, Mr. Nimero, and Mr. Qualls about the 3 internet properties at Pioneers PHS? And then what were the other 2?
At patriotpioneers.org, at the Patriot High School.
Is at patriotpioneers.org a Twitter account?
Yes.
And then at the Patriot High School?
Yes.
Is it high school or HS?
HS.
Were all those accounts created at the same time?
Not the same day, around the same time frame. I don't remember exactly when.
Did anyone from the communications office participate in the decision to produce those accounts?
No.
At the time that you created the accounts, did you believe that you needed to consult with anyone at the at the communications office to create the accounts?
I don't believe so, but honestly, I don't remember.
So who created the at patriotpioneers.org account?
I believe Mr. Qualls.
Who created the at the Patriot HS account?
I believe Mr. Nimero.
Was there any discussion about creating accounts other than Twitter accounts? Other social media accounts for Patriot High School?
No, there were other teachers that have accounts. Some of the coaches had created accounts. We had conversations about who had what, that kind of stuff, but no one ever said, you need to create this or you need to create this. But it was still new at the time.
So this was 2013?
I don't remember.
Well, do you remember that the other 2 accounts were created close in time to the time that you created the...
Yes, but I couldn't tell you the year.
Sorry. So
13 sounds right, but I don't know for sure.
I understand. Will you please try and let me finish the question just to make things easier for Julia?
Sure.
Thank you. So at the time that you created the 3 accounts, did you believe that you did not have decision-making authority as principal of Patriot High School to determine which accounts were official social media accounts of of Prince William County Schools?
Check to the form.
Can you define official? What are you saying?
Yeah, we've been working on that. What does official mean to you?
Check to the form.
Official would mean that it has that little check mark or blue mark or whatever it is. I don't remember exactly what it looks like. The school division ones have it. They have those. So that would be my definition of official. But at the time, that's almost 10 years ago, I don't know that there was a definition. I don't remember.
And have you ever had the blue check mark?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Did the other 2 accounts receive the blue check mark soon after they were formed?
I don't know, not to my knowledge. I don't remember when that blue check mark happened. It could have been later. I don't know when it was.
Did you direct those accounts to seek the blue check mark?
No,
Did they know on their own to get it?
I don't know.
Do you know as of today whether they ever did?
I don't know.
So as of today, is the Patriot HS at the Patriot HS the official Twitter account of Patriot High School in your mind?
Yes, I just don't, like I said, I don't know if the blue check mark is there.
So if it doesn't have a blue check mark, would your opinion change?
Maybe. I mean, I guess it has one. Like I said, I don't know. I haven't looked at it in a while.
What about the at Patriot
Pioneers.
patriotpioneers.org?
Yes. I believe that's the same kind of situation. I want to say in the spring here, we were asked to identify, but I don't remember who asked us to do that.
Do you know if the at patriotpioneers.org handle still exists?
Yes.
When's the last time you reviewed it?
I'm going to object to form reviewed, but
Sorry, when's the last time that you've seen the tweets or the profile of that Twitter handle?
A couple months ago.
Just to be clear, which Twitter handle were you referring to in your question?
At patriotpioneers.org.
I would say a couple of months ago. I don't have a recollection.
Could the handle be at Patriot Pioneers?
Could be.
Does that account have the blue check mark?
I do not know.
If it doesn't have the blue check mark, would that change your view that it's an official Twitter account?
I don't think so, because we identified those when we were asked to list them. But I don't know if it has a blue check mark or not. I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Is there any requirements for in your mind, for a social media account held by a Patriot High School employee to become official besides getting the blue check mark?
I don't know that there is. My understanding is that it could be coming from some of the information that was shared when the other regulation was passed and goes into effect in July, but I don't know for sure.
And the belief that you had about the check mark, did you hold that belief in 2013?
No.
So what was the belief in 2013 about what made a PWCS social media account official?
We created the two. The three of us agreed those would be the two officials. We didn't want to have 15 of them.
And you said
Dan handled one, Brad handled the other.
And so the three of us, that'd be Brad, Dan, and you?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
And did the three of you decide as to all three accounts, or or something else?
I remember the conversation, but I don't remember all of it. I remember Dan saying, I think yours should be personal. We have these two already. I agreed. Brad said he'd already set up the Patriot Pioneers one for athletics. And I said, then that one will be mine. Or Dan said that one will be. It was an informal conversation. I couldn't tell you when. I couldn't tell you where.
Have you ever alerted anyone in a position of authority over you that you had created that account?
I don't know.
What's the first thing you did with the account?
I don't know.
Don't recall.
I don't recall. Like I said, it's 10 years ago.
Was did you form the intention to use the account in the way that you ultimately did use the account?
I don't know if that was the way I intended. I couldn't tell you.
So as a personal account, did you contemplate making the name something like at Emmy Bishop?
I don't know that I did. Like I said, the other one has that. I made it the name of that account, didn't think anything about it.
But did at Emmy Bishop 42 exist as of 2013?
No, I made it later. I don't remember when.
Okay, so that couldn't have been the reason that you decided not to use that handle, could it?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
It couldn't be the case that the existence of the Twitter account that wasn't formed until some years later was the reason you didn't use at Emmy Bishop for the handle for the social media account at Pioneers PHS, right?
I'm an objective form. I think it's confusing and vague. Do you understand the question?
No, I do not.
So why didn't you name at Pioneers PHS at Emmy Bishop or something similar?
I don't know.
At the time that you named the account, did you intend to use it for work at Patriot High School?
Objection to form. Go ahead.
At times.
In the time since the account was formed, have you ever expressed the belief to anyone at in a position of authority over you at Prince William County Schools that the account at Pioneers PHS was a personal account of yours?
I don't know that I have. I don't know.
After the litigation began, have you expressed that belief to anyone in a position of authority over you at Prince William County Schools?
I don't know.
Do you recall having any discussion about the account with any person in a position of authority over you since June 11th, 2022?
No, I don't recall any. I don't know.
Have you ever had a conversation with Carol Flanard?
I've talked to Carol, not about this. She just got hired. We had a couple conversations about having worked previously together in Spotsylvania.
Did Dr. Carol Flanard ever ask you any questions about the at Pioneers PHS Twitter account?
Not that I recall.
Did you ever share any information with Carol Flanard, Dr. Carol Flanard, about the at Pioneers PHS Twitter account?
No.
Did you ever share any information with any person that you believed would reach Dr. Carol Flanard regarding the at Pioneers PHS Twitter
I'm
account?
going to object to the form of that question.
Object to the form.
How's he supposed to know it's going to reach Dr. Florence?
If I tell Alex to tell Bill something, that's the situation.
Well, okay. That's a different question. You're asking him, did he tell anybody to tell Dr. Flanard something?
Well, he may have formed the belief that they were going to tell him, even if he didn't give the exact instruction. Maybe he told her executive assistant.
Can you re-ask the question, please?
Sure.
I'll withdraw.
Have you ever given any person any information about the at Pioneers PHS Twitter account that you believed would be passed on or communicated to Dr. Carol Flanard?
No.
Has anyone ever asked you to do that?
No.
Has anyone ever asked you to provide any information to Dr. Carol Flanard regarding at Pioneers PHS?
No. Can I take a break?
Yeah,
Sure.
that's fine. It is 11:10.
All right, the time is 11:11, and we are off the record.
Let's take 10 minutes.
All right, the time is approximately 11:29 a.m. We're back on the record.
Hello, Dr. Bishop.
Hello.
I was going to see if you want to talk about lunch break.
I'd say you go as long as you can, Evan. I mean,
All right.
because I don't want him answering that he's leaving when it's dark today, so.
Okay. Does that work for you, Bill?
That's fine with me. I knew you wanted to talk about it. I just thought that was the time that we're going to do it.
Okay. So, Dr. Bishop, to get back to where we were, I think were we talking about the 2013, you thought you created the account around 2013?
Yes.
Have you ever told the story that you've just told now about the meeting with those three individuals to anyone who was not your attorney or someone associated with Mr. Frank Kazenko's law firm?
Objection to form.
I'll join you.
You want me to answer it?
Yeah. Have you ever said that to any? I think the word story is a bit argumentative and
I'll ask again.
unnecessary, but
it wasn't intentional. Have you ever provided that information about the meeting where you created or decided to create the at Pioneers PHS Twitter?
I don't remember.
Hold on, let me
Let him finish.
finish. Have you ever provided the information about the creation of the at Pioneers PHS Twitter account that you provided in deposition today regarding the meeting with 3 other folks to anyone besides Mr. Frank Uzenko or anyone at his law firm or the people sitting in this room today?
I don't think so. I don't know, though.
Has anyone besides Mr. Frank Uzenko or someone from his law firm or me ever asked you for information about the circumstances of the creation of the @Pioneers PHS Twitter account?
I don't know.
Do you recall anyone making that request?
I don't know. It's been a long time. It's been 10 years. I don't know.
In the process of producing discovery in this case, did you run across anything to suggest that you did provide that information to anyone besides Mr. Frank Uzenko, someone from his law firm, or me at any time?
No, not that I know of.
Have you ever been disciplined by Prince William County Schools for a violation of social media policy?
No.
Have you ever been disciplined by Prince William County Schools for anything you've done with a social media account?
No.
Have you ever been investigated by Prince William County Schools for any action you've taken with respect to a social media account?
No.
Has anyone from Prince William County Schools ever raised the issue to you that anything you've done on the @Pioneers PHS social media account was in any way inappropriate?
No.
All right, so I'd like to show exhibit number 1 here. And exhibit number 1 will be the Twitter archive produced by Dr. Bishop. Is this going to be readable to you, Mr. Dr. Bishop?
Sort of.
You can go larger. How's that?
Yeah, it looks okay.
Just so we're clear for the record, are you representing, Evan, that this is part of the archive production that we did on behalf of Dr. Bishop?
Yes, I am. This production was identified by slip sheet, I think as Bishop _000084 with the notation that it's a
Can I ask you a question?
Twitter archive.
Why does it say hi at Pioneers PHS?
I don't know. And
Okay.
Don't. I mean, he's going to ask you questions about it, and you can respond.
Have you ever seen this dashboard on Twitter before?
No.
Zoom out a little so you can see the hotbar on the left. Have you ever seen this data on Twitter before?
Yeah, probably have seen the one in the top left because, yeah, that one. I don't know that I've seen the quick stats piece there in the middle.
Did you prepare an archive of the Twitter account?
I did not.
Do you know if anyone from Mr. Frank Uzenko's law firm prepared an archive of the Twitter account?
For the record, we have a third party do the technology in terms of preserving this.
Okay. So, do you see the section here, or the wording here? Could you read aloud that highlighted section, please? Can you read that, Dr. Bishop?
Date generated September 8th, 2022 at 10:38:14 a.m. GMT4. Estimated size 754 MB.
Do you understand that language to mean that the account archive was created in September of 2022?
Yes.
Is that consistent with, is the data here consistent with that understanding?
I have no idea.
Had you tweeted approximately 3,000 times?
I have no idea.
Do you know how many tweets you've produced as of today?
I have no idea.
Sorry, just a gentle reminder, will you please let me finish my question before you give an answer?
Good.
Do you know how many folks or how many accounts you've blocked on Twitter?
It says there 57. I don't know that that's correct or not. I have never seen this before.
Have you ever looked at the accounts that you've blocked on Twitter?
Probably, but I don't remember.
What is the difference? You see here that there are 22 muted accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it means to mute an account on Twitter?
No, I don't. I don't remember.
Do you know the difference between muting an account on Twitter and blocking an account on Twitter?
No.
Have you ever known?
No.
Do you have any recollection of muting anyone?
Let me correct what I said before. I don't know.
Don't know which part?
I don't know if I've known, if I did, or I didn't. I don't know the difference between one and the other. I said no, and I want to make sure I say I don't know.
You don't know whether you've ever known?
Right. I don't know whether I've ever known.
Do you know what the process is to mute someone on Twitter?
I think so, but I don't remember. I mean, I did it, obviously, but I don't remember.
What do you recall of that process?
I'm sure the person made a comment or made some statement, and then you click on something, there's a bar, or 3 dots, I don't know for sure, and then you make a selection. But I couldn't tell you I know exactly how to do it.
Do you know exactly how to block someone?
I don't necessarily know exactly how to block someone. I'm sure I figured it out, but I don't know exactly how to do it.
So if there was a Twitter account, if someone left a post on this Twitter account today, are you confident you'd be able to block them if you wanted to?
Well, I haven't used this account since last year, so I don't know that I would know how to do it. I haven't touched it in a year.
Who else besides you has ever had access to this Twitter account?
My secretary was asked to find some information, Michelle Kincaid. She was provided with a login and information. She generated it for a FOIA and returned it.
Did you say she generated a login?
I gave her my login and information. She logged in, she generated whatever information was asked in the FOIA account, provided it to Soledad, whatever her name is from the division, and then logged back out.
Do you have a note there in front of you, Dr. Bishop?
It says patience.
Always a watchword.
Yes.
What is the login for the @PioneersPHS Twitter account?
I don't remember.
Is it your email address at the Prince William County School District?
I don't remember.
Where could you go to find the answer to that question?
I'm sure you go in there somewhere on the left, but I don't really know that I know.
Do you see the email listed here for the account within the account subsection?
Yeah, I see it now.
Will you read that aloud, please?
mebishop42@icloud.com.
Is that your email address?
Yes.
Do you check that every day?
Not every day, no.
Do you review that most days?
Some days, yeah.
Did you look at it today?
No.
Do you see down here the section that begins titled Email Changes?
Mm-hmm.
What was the email that you originally signed up for using the account?
I think it was my Prince William, but I don't remember. It looks like it says it there.
Are you referring to the bishopme@pwcs.edu
Yes.
account? So is the entry here changed July 24, 2013, 6:37 a.m. to bishopme@pwcs.edu, consistent with your memory?
That's what I see. I don't know if it had been something else prior to that. Yeah, I see it.
Was there any other email account you were using with regularity in 2013?
I don't remember.
Did you have the mebishop42 at icloud.com account as of 2013?
I do not know.
Do you see the next entry here, changed Aug 30, 2022, 8:20 a.m. from Bishop ME at PWCS EDU 2?
Yeah, I see it.
Did you change the
U2? EDU 2? So it's 2 something else. Got it.
That's my understanding. Did you do that? You changed the account?
Yeah.
And was August 30th, 2022 the last date that you accessed the account?
I don't know.
Have you ever accessed the account in 2023?
No.
Do you see the section that begins protected history that I've highlighted in blue? Will you read that aloud, please?
Protected history changed June 10th, 2022, 12:07 p.m. Action protect.
Did you do that?
I'm sure I did.
Why did you protect the history of the account on June 10th, 2022?
Because I was made aware of this lawsuit, and there's been interactions on that account with students, and I didn't want them subjected to any of that garbage, and I wanted to make sure I protected myself, I'll be honest.
How were you made aware of the lawsuit?
One of my teachers walked in and told me.
Which teacher?
Richard Douglas.
What did Mr. Douglas say about the lawsuit?
Came in and said, "Hey, I'm really sorry. I thought you're getting sued. I saw you're getting sued again." I said, "Excuse me?" And then he told me the whole story. I called the high school office, let Mr. Bixby know. Kind of pissed me off, to be honest. And then went and looked to see where it was, and it was on Inside Nova or one of those things that had been shared.
In addition to making the account protected on June 10th, 2022, did you take any other action with respect to the account?
I don't remember.
Did you tweet at any time after June 10, 2022 on the account?
I could have. I don't remember.
Did you post anything on the account relating to this lawsuit?
I do not believe so, no.
Did you post anything on the account that explains why you took it private or protected it?
I don't think so.
What's your understanding of the effect of making a Twitter account protected or private?
The people that are following you are the only ones that you interact with. I believe that's, but I've been wrong before.
Is it your understanding that only followers can view the tweets of a Twitter account that is flipped into protective status?
I think so. I'm not 100%.
Do you see, I'm directing to the list over here called tweets. Do you see that?
Yep.
Do you recognize the top tweet on this
Yeah.
list?
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't remember whether I had or not.
So this is August 6th, 2022,
Yep.
right? Did you make this tweet?
I think I probably did. We were thanking a limousine service that had provided the opportunity for our custodians to be taken to a nice lunch. One of our parents.
And has anyone besides you ever published a tweet on the account?
No.
Has anyone besides Mrs. Kincaid or your legal counsel ever had the ability to access the account?
No.
Have you ever given your cell phone to someone and directed them to take any action with respect to the account if you were already logged into the Twitter account on the cell phone?
I'm going to object to form.
I'll join that.
Can you define action?
Has anyone ever used your cell phone to take any, to publish anything on the account?
No. They've used my phone to take pictures of things, school events, but they've never published anything.
And when those pictures were taken, who associated them with the Twitter post and published them?
Me.
So if someone took a picture on your cell phone and handed it back to you, what was the next step you would take to to create a Twitter post?
I guess I'd put it in my pocket and then do it later. I really don't remember. So let's just say he and I are standing there and I'm recognizing him for something. I'd hand the phone to you, say, hey, could you take a picture of the two of us? We take that picture, 3 or 4 of them, go back later, which one looks the best? Congratulations to Alex or whatever. And that's how we would do it.
So when you made a Twitter post, was it your habit to pick the best picture to load onto the tweet?
Sometimes.
To the form.
So are there pictures taken with your cell phone at Prince William County schools that were not reflected on this timeline of the account?
I have no idea.
Can you think of a single time that anyone has ever taken more than one picture of an event that was ultimately pictured on the account?
Can you rephrase that? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking.
Well, did I understand your testimony that it was a typical practice to snap 3 or 4 pictures and then...
Not always, but sometimes, yes.
And when that was done, did you select the picture that you liked the best if you were going to make a Twitter post about it?
Sometimes, yes.
And when the picture was selected, did you take any action with respect to the other pictures?
Most likely would have deleted it using the best one. Don't remember that every time, though.
Have you ever directed someone to, at Prince William County Schools, to take a picture that you intended to use at the time you gave the direction for the Twitter account?
I don't know.
Have you ever asked Michelle Kincaid to take a picture of you posing with a student?
Yes.
Have you ever told Michelle Kincaid to take a picture of you posing with a student?
I've asked her. I don't tell her. I've asked her.
And when you asked Michelle to do that, were you acting in your role as Prince William County or Patriot High School principal?
I'll object to form. I think that calls for legal conclusion, but go ahead.
Joey?
I guess so. I mean, Michelle and I worked together for 13 years, so she's done a lot of stuff to help me.
And when you asked Michelle to take the photographs, were you on Prince William County Schools property?
Check the form.
Maybe, possibly. Could be, I don't know.
Was that true most of the time?
Most of the time, yeah, but again, I'm not 100% on that. There could have been something taken at another event off-site. Could have been taken at a prom.
Mm-hmm. And if they were taken off-site, who would you ask to take the photograph?
I have no idea. Maybe whoever's available at the time.
So do you see this tweet at the very top? Can you read that, or? Is that legible for you, Dr. Bishop?
Yeah, I can see it.
Could you please read the top tweet there?
Patriot High School test Twitter feed.
What's the date of that tweet?
July 26, 2013.
Is that what you recall being the first tweet that was produced from this account?
I don't know.
Do you have any reason to believe that that tweet was not made by you?
I have no idea because I don't remember when I had the conversation with the others.
Well, has anyone besides you ever had access to the account, besides Mrs. Kincaid and your legal counsel?
I answered that before, no.
So why are you unsure whether you made this tweet?
Because it's 10 years old.
Well, can you think of any other possibility for how this tweet came into existence besides you making it?
No.
And at the time that this tweet was made, do you see that Patriot High School were the first words that the tweet included?
Yeah.
And were you serving as the principal of the Patriot High School at that time?
Yes.
Could you please read the second tweet aloud?
Getting the building ready for fall. Who is ready for school?
Did you create that tweet with a particular audience in mind?
I'm sure I did, but I don't remember at this time.
Was it Patriot High School students?
Could have been.
Patriot High School parents?
It could have been.
Was it for anyone who was not a member of the community of Prince William County Schools?
It could have been.
So now zooming out, not with respect to that tweet, but with respect to the account as a whole, did you use that account to connect with the members of the community of Patriot High School?
At times, yes.
Did you ever use it to connect with anyone who wasn't within the community of Prince William County Schools?
I'm not sure.
Did you ever form the intention to use the account to connect with anyone who was outside the community of Prince William County Schools?
I'm not sure.
Did you ever take any action to define the community of individuals who would receive the tweets from the account?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
You mentioned a few times some conversations on Twitter. What do you mean when you're talking about conversations?
There could have been people that tagged or responded, or somebody who shared information and tagged me, and that would count as a conversation for me.
So is it fair to call those interactions that produced the conversation? I'm only asking if we can use that as shorthand today. So
I guess so.
So can we agree that interactions would include tagging or commenting or retweeting on the Twitter platform?
I guess so.
Is there any other type of interaction that you're aware of that can occur on Twitter?
People have sent me direct messages through that account. Kids have asked me questions during that account. I had a conversation with a student who had selected a college, and he and I had had conversations at school. I let him know I was proud of him for making his decision. It was an exchange back and forth. Maybe 2 years ago, I don't remember.
When did you start using the direct messaging direct messaging function on this account?
I do not know.
Have you always used it since you started the account?
I do not know. I don't think it was available at first, but I don't remember.
Have you had direct message conversations with more than 7 people in the time that you've had the account?
I don't know. I can remember a handful of them.
Have you ever sent or received a direct message on this @Pioneers PHS social media account before 2019?
I don't know.
Do you have any reason to believe that that's true?
That I did or didn't?
That you did?
I don't know. I haven't, like I said, I have no idea if I did or didn't.
So let's look at the messages. Do you see this middle column now? The leftmost column is selected direct messages, and the middle column has the words direct messages at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the inbox of your @Pioneers PHS social media account?
I think so.
Are these all the messages that have ever been sent or received on this account?
I think so.
Is it your testimony today that you did not receive or send a direct message on this account prior to 2019, February 19th, 2020?
No, I don't know that.
So are you unsure whether this reflects
Yes.
all of, sorry, let me finish. Patience. Are you unsure whether this view reflects all of the direct messages that were sent or received by this social media account?
I'm unsure whether they are or not. I don't know.
Have you ever deleted a direct message on this Twitter account?
I do not remember.
Did anyone ever direct or instruct you not to delete anything on this account?
I'm going to object insofar you're asking for attorney-client privilege information. Anybody besides counsel?
I don't remember.
You don't know. You don't remember whether anyone besides counsel has ever instructed you not to delete anything on this.
I don't remember. Yes, sir. I don't remember.
Do you know who the individuals are whose conversations with you are reflected in this direct messages inbox?
I know that the one with my birth date on it is someone that I used to work with. I cannot think of his name right now, but I can see his face. And he sent me a happy birthday message. He's got a Twitter account. We exchanged a conversation. One of those exchanges was with a student who was helping with pictures for the 10th anniversary event or something like that. One of those messages is from a student who had graduated and had made a decision about where to go to college, and I was explaining to him I was proud of him. I'm not sure who all the other ones are.
Okay.
And I don't remember which one is which up there.
What website did you select to advertise on the PHS Pioneers profile page?
Check the form.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Is there a link on the @Pioneers PHS profile page on Twitter to a Prince William County Schools website?
There may have been, but I don't remember.
Where did you get this image, the avatar image for the @Pioneers PHS Twitter account?
I created it.
What program did you use to create it?
Publisher.
Microsoft Publisher?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any training on how to create images with Microsoft Publisher?
Used it for 25 years. I don't know that counts as training.
Did you learn how to use it in your role as a administrator in the school system?
No. I've known how to do it for 25 years, so.
Do you frequently create images like these for Patriot High School?
Sometimes.
Did you do anything else with this image besides place it as the avatar for the @Pioneers PHS Twitter account?
It was used on some posters depicting kids in the building. It was used on some stickers that were shared for the 10th anniversary. A couple of other things. I don't remember off the top of my head.
And I wanted to ask about this image, what I'll call the header image. Could you read aloud the language at the top of the photograph there?
Patriot Day. Patriot High School honors heroes and first responders.
Did you create this image in Microsoft Publisher?
No.
Do you know who did?
No, I don't.
Do you know who created or took the photograph?
No, I don't.
How did you get it?
Someone gave it to me.
Who gave it to you?
I do not know.
What is Patriot Day?
It is a day that we honor first responders at our school. We used to do it on September 11th because of the significance of the date. The kids make a breakfast for first responders, the band plays, superintendents showed up before. Now we do it on First Responders Day, which I think is in October. And it's an event that the kids generate and put together.
Are you pictured in this photograph?
I do not know. I can't see that far away.
Did you attend this event?
I was there.
Maybe if you could just start on the left and see if you spot yourself, and I'll scroll for you.
I don't see myself.
Is this you in the blue shirt, sort of in the
No.
front center?
No.
Did you think about using a picture of yourself on the account as either the avatar or the header image?
At some point I did a long time ago, but I don't remember when.
Why did you change it?
I don't know. It was a cool picture.
What was the picture?
The one you just showed me.
What was the picture that included a depiction of you?
I don't remember.
Was it a picture of your face?
I don't remember.
Have you ever used a picture other than the picture that you don't recall, or the picture that's there now as an avatar image on the Twitter account?
I could have, I don't remember.
Have you ever used an image other than the Patriot Day as the header image for the Twitter account?
I could have, I don't remember.
Do you save content related to the Twitter account anywhere on a school computer?
No.
Do you ever move photographs from the from your phone to a school computer?
No.
Do you have 2 cell phones?
Yes.
And do you use the work phone to take pictures of school events that are posted on Twitter on the Twitter account?
At times, yeah.
Have you ever used your personal phone to take pictures of events that were later published on Twitter?
At times, yes. I don't remember.
How do you decide whether you're going to use your work phone or your cell phone or your personal phone to publish content on the @Pioneers PHS Twitter account?
Say the last part again, please.
How do you decide whether you use your work phone or your personal phone to publish content on the @Pioneers PHS Twitter account?
Depends on which phone I take the picture with.
How do you decide which phone to take the picture with?
Whatever I happen to have with me at the time.
What if if you ever post with no pictures?
Possibly, yeah. You saw the one.
So in that case, if there's no pictures, how do you decide which one to use?
I don't really.
Let me ask again. If there are no pictures on the tweets, how do you decide whether to use your work cell phone or your personal cell phone to tweet?
I guess whatever one I have in my possession at the time. I don't really think about that.
Are there any rules at Prince William County Schools that you're aware of, regulations, policies, that govern whether you're allowed to use a personal cell phone for certain tasks associated with PWCS?
What time frame are you talking about? You're talking about that back in 2013?
Thank you. As of today.
There's one that's going to affect July 1st. I don't know if it has to do with cell phone or not. It says something about social media, and I've only briefly read it. I haven't looked at the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Other than the one that you just mentioned that would take effect in July, are you aware of any other policies, regulations, or other rules that control when a PWCS employee can use a personal cell phone to accomplish a task associated with Prince William County Schools?
To my knowledge, no.
Has anyone ever trained you or provided information to you regarding that question?
No.
All right, so I'd like to show some regulations. Have you ever seen, this is exhibit number 2. Have you ever seen this regulation before?
295-1. Yeah, I'm sure I have.
Is this the regulation that applies at Prince William County Schools?
I think so, yes.
In what context have you ever seen it before?
I'm sure at some point I had to go review it for something. I don't remember what context.
Are you familiar with the regulation?
Yeah, define familiar.
Do you know what effect it has on your use of computer devices?
I do and I don't, because there's parts of it I'm sure I've never looked at. I have a general knowledge.
Do you have a general understanding of whether PWCS employees have an expectation of privacy for their use of computer networks at Prince William County Schools?
I'm going to object to form. Are you asking him whether what's his understanding of what other employees?
Yeah, that's
believe?
fair. Okay. Do you think you have a right to privacy with respect to things that you do on school computers or school networks?
I'm not sure, because I know this regulation changed several times since I've been employed here. It's been updated and revised. I know there's a statement there that says computers, networks, and internet systems is a privilege, not a right. Can be withdrawn by the division at any time. But I also know there are people who have accessed personal stuff during the day. I've had staff who've done it. A lot of folks done it. You know, we had conversations with that about Division Counsel Mary McGowan. We were informed as long as they're not doing something inappropriate, it's not a big deal. And I don't remember when she said that, and I don't remember how she said that, okay?
Now you're getting it. So did you...
That may be privilege.
Have you accessed personal accounts or personal information using the Prince William County Schools computer network or a Prince William County Schools computer device?
Can you define personal information?
So not work-related?
Yes.
Did you perceive that you were doing anything wrong when you took those actions?
No.
So how can you tell the difference between something that is work-related and something that's not work-related?
Objection to film.
I'm not sure I understand your question.
So this Twitter account is a personal Twitter account to you, is that right?
Yes.
It has a lot of information on it about your job, correct? So what is the criteria that you use to decide whether or not something is a personal pursuit or a pursuit that you're undertaking as the principal of Patriot High School?
I honestly don't know. I don't know.
Has anyone ever trained you regarding that distinction?
Define training.
Have anyone ever tried to give you information regarding making that judgment in a structured way?
No. We were kind of given this broad picture of, I don't even know how to describe it. It was at a level meeting, and the conversation was about, let's be careful, let's not put things out. I don't remember who said it. It's a long time ago, but I do remember sitting in the room and that conversation being held. I don't remember who said it, but it was like at the bottom of the agenda, like, don't forget, because that's usually what the agenda has.
And what is a level meeting?
Level meetings where all the high school level principals are invited to a meeting with the superintendent and the high school associate, the student learning associate, and sometimes people from student learning. They are monthly.
Do you recall whether there was an attorney present at that meeting?
Do not.
Who led the meeting?
I don't remember. It could have been a long time ago. There's various folks that led those meetings at times. Most of the time it was Mickey.
And so the instruction, not, be careful to put out, was it directed at all social media or school social media?
I don't remember. I know that the conversation was about there's kids that are on a list to not have their picture taken. A long time ago it was a paper list. Now it's in the hub. And so usually most of us just say, are you on the list? Do your parents not want your picture taken? And if they say yes, one of us will go verify it. It's happened to me one time in 11 years and did not put the girl's picture out, whatever it was for. I don't know that everybody else does it that way, but that was kind of the general sense. Make sure you check the list.
So when you were taking pictures of students to be published on the @Pioneers PHS Twitter account, was it your habit to ask the students whether they were on the opt-out list for the photography use?
I don't know that I did it all the time because I can't tell you that for sure.
Well, why did you do it only some of the time rather than all of the time?
I don't know.
Did you think that you needed to do it?
I don't know. Again, I have 5,000 things I do in a day. I don't know why I didn't do it. Just like I don't know why I didn't eat my lunch or get a drink during the day. Like, just it's very busy.
Were you ever concerned that failing to do it would violate some right that the students had not to be pictured?
I wasn't concerned, but if somebody would have contacted me and said, hey, my kid's on the list, I'd have taken it down right then and there. Like I said, I can only recall one kid that told me that, but there could have been others.
So in your mind, the opt-out list applied to the social media account @Pioneers PHS, even though it was a personal account?
I just wanted to make sure I was covering myself.
So let me get the rest of these in real quick.
At some point you're going to send these around?
Yes.
Like from earlier this week?
Yes, I've got them all stacked in one nested folder. I think it'll be.
Are you using any big ones today? And it's all going to be stuff we've seen.
Have you ever seen what I'm showing you now is exhibit number 3?
Is it a regulation or a policy? I can't tell. Okay.
I think it's a regulation. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen it, but I don't know when.
Are you familiar with the content based on the number 5031?
Maybe.
What do you think that it might be?
It's professional conduct for employees. It's right there at the bottom.
Have you reviewed the regulation before today?
I can't say that I have. I could have, I don't remember.
Do you understand this regulation to govern what you're allowed to do as a principal of Patriot High School?
I want to say there might be something else for administrators listed in there, but I think it does. I'm just not positive.
Would it be under a different name than administrators?
I don't really know. Like I said, there could be a policy. Sometimes they're listed as policy, sometimes they're listed as regulations. I don't know. I could be in there.
In your mind, did this regulation apply to anything that any action you took with respect to the social media account at Pioneers PHS?
Objective form.
Johnny?
I don't think so, but I don't know. Again, that's my personal account. There's a lot of stuff that happens as a principal that people can't delineate, and so I don't know for sure that I would say that did that.
Have you ever reviewed the account with the intention of checking whether what you were doing on the at Pioneers PHS social media account was permitted?
No.
Has anyone ever advised you to do that besides Mr. Frank Kazenko or his firm?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
He's got something coming out. You got something coming out of those headphones, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just to the left there.
Thanks.
All right. I'm going to show you now exhibit number 4. Have you seen this document before, Dr. Bishop?
Is that 910-1?
Yes, sir.
I think I have. I know the new one goes into effect shortly.
Where have you seen the regulation before?
I'm sure at some point when I went through a list for something, I just can't tell you that I downloaded it and looked at it. I know it's there.
Do you recall downloading it from board docs?
I don't recall because it didn't used to be in board docs. It used to just be on the website.
When is the last time that you reviewed it?
This one or the new one?
This one.
I couldn't tell you.
More than a year?
Probably.
More than 2 years?
Probably.
More than 5 years?
Maybe.
Has there ever been any type of mandatory training at Prince William County Schools that involved the review of this regulation?
Check to the form.
I don't remember.
Have you ever received any training from anyone at Prince William County Schools in which this regulation or predecessor form was used?
I don't remember.
Have you ever received any training from anyone at Prince William County Schools regarding the use of social media?
Define training.
So do you have to take mandatory training every year on other topics from Prince William County Schools?
Sometimes yes, not always. Sometimes it's once every 5 years you have to do something. I do not recall ever having a training. I said to you I was at a level meeting. Mary McGowan would talk about stuff. I don't remember if she talked about this. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
Has anyone at Prince William County Schools ever given you any information about when it's appropriate to block a Twitter user?
I don't know.
Has anyone at Prince William County Schools ever given you any information about when it is appropriate to delete a comment that a public commenter has made on a Twitter account?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Has anyone at Prince William County Schools ever given you any information about standards and criteria that you could use to moderate the at Pioneers PHS Twitter account?
Check to the form.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Has anyone at Prince William County Schools ever given you any standards or criteria that you could use to moderate any social media account, whether it was at Pioneers PHS or not?
Other than the one you showed me, that's the only thing I really know of, but I don't know that somebody said, make sure you review this, make sure you do this. I don't know that for sure.
Have you ever attended a training provided by Mary McGowan?
Yes.
Have you ever attended a training provided by Mary McGowan that related to social media use?
I don't think so, but I'm not 100% positive.
Do you maintain any type of record about the trainings that you attend?
Not a paper training. in your recertification folder, there's things that are listed, but I don't know where that is.
Have you ever received social media training as part of recertification, whether provided by PWCS or not?
No.
Are you aware of any person who has received training at PWCS about the standards and criteria applicable to moderating a school social media account?
Check the form.
No.
Have you ever had a discussion with any other principal at Prince William County Schools about social media training?
No.
Are you aware of any PWCS principal who has ever received training from Mary McGowan about social media use?
No.
Are you aware of any PWCS principal who has ever received training from Diana Galata about social media use?
No.
Are you aware that...
Let me correct myself. I don't know instead of no on that last question. I don't know if I remember. I don't know if it ever happened. I don't want to just say no.
Is there a possibility in your mind that it did happen?
I don't know. I don't remember how long Diana's worked for us.
Mm-hmm. Are you aware of any training at Prince William County Schools conducted by anyone regarding when it's appropriate to moderate social media?
No.
When you do have to take mandatory training, what kind of training is it?
Define training and on what?
So you said that there were certain trainings you had to take for recertification, right?
Right.
What are those trainings?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me something like this. There's a conflict of interest training you have to do. There is a IEP procedural, make sure you follow the stuff that goes with that. There were 4 or 5 things having to do with telework and making sure that people had done, the teachers when we were virtual, they all had to sign, I think it was a non-disclosure, but I'm probably wrong on that. And there's some other things that you have to do because you have to get recertified every year. Every 5 years, I'm sorry.
And has social media use ever been mentioned by any recertification training, even obliquely?
Check to the form.
Same objection.
I don't know.
Do you recall any social media topic ever appearing in any recertification training provided by PWCS?
No.
Are there, is there additional training available to you as a principal of Prince William County, within the Prince William County school system, that is not mandatory?
I don't know.
Have you ever sought out training in a training that is different from the mandatory recertification training?
I don't know because sometimes there's things at the level meetings that count. I just don't remember what they are. I mean, I've attended 1,000 level meetings since 2010. I couldn't tell you.
So where do the level meetings occur?
Usually at the Kelly Center. Every once in a while we've been somewhere else because it's booked. When we were virtual, they were online.
How often do they occur?
Once a month.
So have you attended a level meeting at the Kelly Leadership Center every month since 2013?
No, because there was probably one that I was absent or I wasn't there or when my wife was sick. And then virtual, we didn't go to the Kelly Center. We stayed in our houses or stayed in our offices.
Okay. Have you attended a level meeting, whether virtually or in person, every month since 2013, except during dates where you may have been absent or during your wife's sickness?
I think so. I'm not going to say 100%, but I think so.
Are there circumstances that you have to provide if you're going to be absent?
Yes, you usually notify Mr. Mulgrew, now it's Mr. Bixby, tell him what's going on and who's replacing you, because you usually send someone else.
Are you permitted to send an assistant principal in your place?
Yes.
Can you do that every month?
No, I wouldn't do that every month, but if I needed to, I could, but I wouldn't do that.
Do they, does the division certify or record the attendance of someone from each school?
Check to the form.
I don't know. I've never signed in. Let me put it that way. I've never signed in.
Has anyone ever asked you why you weren't there when you were absent?
No, because I've always made sure I told them in advance.
So at any of those level meetings, have you ever seen or heard a discussion about social media use by principals?
I don't recall. Can we take a 5-minute bathroom break, please?
Sure.
All right, the time is approximately 12:20 p.m. and we're off record.
Well, if we're gonna break,